Did you know that many elderly people show subtle signs in their final year? Signs that often go unnoticed until it's too late? Meet Eleanor, an 83-year-old former schoolteacher who spent decades shaping young minds. She loved telling stories, sharing wisdom, and never missed a Sunday dinner with her family. But over time, her loved ones noticed small changes. She started repeating herself more often, losing interest in her favorite books, and hesitating when setting the dinner table. They dismissed it as just getting older, not realizing these were quiet warnings of something more serious. By the time they understood, precious moments had slipped away. Conversations left unspoken, plans left unmade. Eleanor's story isn't unique, it's something many families unknowingly go through. That's why this video is so important. Today, we'll cover 5 subtle but critical signs that may indicate an elderly loved one is in their final year. These signs are easy to overlook, but recognizing them early can help families prepare, both emotionally and practically. If you have aging parents or grandparents, stay with me until the end, because the last sign is one even doctors sometimes miss. And if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe so more families can be aware of these crucial signs. Let's get started. Sign number 1, unexplained weight loss, first major sign. One of the first and most overlooked signs that a loved one may be in their final year is unexplained weight loss. This doesn't necessarily happen overnight, it can be gradual, so subtle that you don't even notice it at first. But then, one day their clothes look looser, their face appears thinner, or they seem frailer when you hug them. At first they might dismiss it. "Oh, I just don't have the same appetite anymore," or "I've just been a little stressed." And while a small change in weight can be normal, unintentional and noticeable weight loss is often a sign of a deeper health issue. It's not just about eating less. It can indicate that the body is slowly shutting down, processing food differently, or struggling with an underlying illness that hasn't been diagnosed. Take Eleanor, for example. Her daughter, Lisa, started noticing small changes over time. The cardigan Eleanor wore every evening seemed to hang a little looser. Her wedding ring, which fit snugly for decades, now slipped off easily. When Lisa brought it up, Eleanor just smiled and said, "I guess I just haven't been as hungry lately." She didn't seem concerned, so Lisa didn't push it. But looking back, Lisa realizes it was a warning sign. Eleanor wasn't on a diet, and she wasn't intentionally eating less. Her body was simply changing in ways that weren't obvious until it was too late. By the time the weight loss became undeniable, Eleanor had also grown weaker, moving slower and tiring more easily. It wasn't just aging, it was a sign that her body was struggling. As people near the final stage of life, several biological changes can cause unintentional weight loss. Metabolism slows down. The body no longer processes food as efficiently. Muscle loss or sarcopenia, natural muscle deterioration, can speed up, making a person look thinner and frailer. Reduced appetite? A loss of interest in food, changes in taste, or difficulty swallowing can cause them to eat much less. Underlying illnesses? Conditions like cancer, heart failure, or kidney disease can cause weight loss long before other symptoms appear. If you notice a loved one losing weight for no apparent reason, don't ignore it. Instead, observe closely. Pay attention to whether they're eating less, skipping meals, or leaving food unfinished. Ask gentle questions. Try, have you noticed any changes in your appetite? Or do certain foods not taste the same anymore? Encourage nutritious meals. Soft, protein-rich foods, high-calorie snacks or smoothies can help if chewing or digestion is an issue. Consult a doctor. Sudden or steady weight loss should always be checked, even if they seem otherwise fine. Unexplained weight loss is more than just a number on the scale. It can be one of the earliest signs that someone's health is declining. If caught early, families can take steps to ensure their loved one is comfortable, well-nourished, and properly cared for. Have you ever noticed something like this in a loved one? Share your experience in the comments. Your insight might help someone else recognize the signs before it's too late. And keep watching, because the next sign is one that even doctors sometimes overlook, yet it can reveal so much about a person's final stage of life. Sign number 2, Increased fatigue and sleeping more energy decline. Have you ever noticed an elderly loved one sleeping more than usual? Maybe they start taking longer naps during the day or struggle to stay awake through their favorite TV shows. At first, it might seem harmless, just a part of aging. But excessive fatigue and increased sleep can actually be a sign that the body is slowing down in a significant way. As people near the final stage of life, their body begins to conserve energy. Basic activities like walking, talking, or even eating require effort, and when the body starts struggling to keep up, it naturally demands more rest. Some of the common causes include metabolic slowdown. The body isn't producing or using energy as efficiently as before. Heart and lung changes, reduced oxygen circulation can make even small movements exhausting. Weakened muscles, less physical strength means more effort is needed for simple tasks. Underlying health conditions. Fatigue is a common symptom of heart disease, kidney failure, or even undiagnosed infections. Eleanor, the former schoolteacher we talked about earlier, had always been sharp and full of life. She loved chatting with her family and could spend hours reminiscing about the past. But over time, something changed. Her daughter, Lisa, noticed that Eleanor was sleeping later in the mornings and napping more during the day. At family gatherings, she would sit quietly, struggling to keep her eyes open. At first, they laughed it off. "Mum's just catching up on sleep," Lisa thought. But then, Eleanor started falling asleep mid-conversation. She would nod off at the dinner table, even with all the chatter around her. What Lisa and her family didn't realize was that Eleanor's body was preparing for major changes. The increased sleep wasn't just a sign of getting older. It was a signal that her energy levels were declining, and her body was shifting into a different phase. What to watch for: sleeping much longer at night than they used to, taking frequent naps throughout the day, struggling to stay awake during conversations or activities they used to enjoy, moving slower, and seeming drained after minor physical tasks. If you notice a loved one experiencing excessive fatigue, don't ignore it. Here's how you can help. Track changes in sleep patterns. Is this a sudden shift, or has it been happening gradually? Encourage movement when possible. Short walks or light stretching can help maintain energy levels. Ensure proper nutrition. Fatigue can be worsened by dehydration or a lack of essential nutrients. Speak to a doctor. Sometimes extreme fatigue can be linked to conditions like anemia, thyroid issues, or heart failure. It's easy to dismiss increased sleep as a normal part of aging, but when combined with other subtle signs, it can indicate a deeper shift in their health. Understanding this can help families prepare emotionally and practically for what's ahead. And what happened next with Eleanor was even more concerning. Her personality started to change. This is a sign that many families miss until it's too late. Let's talk about it next. Sign number 3, withdrawal from social activities, loss of interest. Have you ever noticed a loved one slowly pulling away from family gatherings, skipping events they once loved, or avoiding phone calls? It's easy to assume they're just tired or want more quiet time. But social withdrawal is often a sign of both physical and emotional decline, one that shouldn't be ignored. As people near the final stage of life, they may begin to disconnect from the world around them. This withdrawal isn't always intentional, but rather a reflection of changes happening within their body and mind. Some key reasons include fatigue and low energy. Socializing requires effort, and they may simply feel too tired to engage. Cognitive changes, memory loss, or confusion can make conversations frustrating or overwhelming. Hearing or vision decline. Difficulty keeping up with discussions can make social settings feel isolating. Depression or emotional detachment. Many elderly individuals experience a sense of loss, grief, or even an unspoken awareness of their own decline. Eleanor, who once loved being surrounded by family, started changing in ways her daughter Lisa didn't understand at first. She had always been active in her book club and never missed a Sunday at church. But suddenly she began skipping meetings, saying she was too tired or just not in the mood. At family gatherings, she sat quietly instead of engaging in conversation. When Lisa called, Eleanor would answer briefly, but then find an excuse to hang up. At first, Lisa thought maybe her mum was just feeling a little down or overwhelmed. But looking back, she realized this withdrawal was a deeper sign that Eleanor was detaching. not just from activities but from life itself. What to watch for: skipping social events they once enjoyed, avoiding phone calls or visits with family and friends, becoming quieter in group settings, speaking less or sitting in the background, showing disinterest in hobbies, TV shows, or conversations they used to love. If you notice a loved one withdrawing, don't assume it's just old age. It could be a sign that their health is declining in ways they may not even realize themselves. Here's how you can help. Gently encourage interaction. Invite them to small, low-pressure gatherings instead of big events. Create opportunities for connection. Short video calls, playing music they love, or looking through old photos together can be comforting. Check in on their emotional well-being. Ask how they're feeling and if anything is bothering them. Sometimes withdrawal is a sign of depression or anxiety. Consult a doctor if needed. A sudden or severe loss of interest in life could indicate underlying health issues, including cognitive decline. When a once social person begins to withdraw, it's not just a change in behavior, it's a signal that something deeper is happening. Recognizing this sign early can help families provide emotional support and prepare for the road ahead. Have you ever noticed a loved one withdrawing from social activities? Share your experience in the comments. Your story could help someone else recognize these important signs. And stay with me, because the next sign is one that often goes unnoticed: a sudden change in personality. Let's talk about why this can be one of the biggest red flags. Sign number 4. Changes in hygiene and daily habits, a silent indicator. One of the most subtle yet telling signs that a loved one may be in their final year is a decline in personal hygiene and daily self-care habits. It might start small, wearing the same clothes more often, skipping showers, or forgetting to brush their hair. At first, it's easy to dismiss as simple forgetfulness, but in many cases, it's a deeper sign that their body and mind are slowing down. As elderly individuals approach the final stage of life, several physical and cognitive changes can impact their ability or desire to keep up with daily hygiene. Fatigue and physical weakness. Showering, dressing, and grooming require energy that they may no longer have. Cognitive decline. Forgetting simple routines or struggling to remember the last time they bathed. Loss of motivation, a sign of depression, detachment, or a subconscious recognition of their declining health. Mobility challenges. Arthritis, balance issues, or pain can make basic hygiene tasks feel overwhelming. Eleanor had always been someone who took pride in her appearance. She loved picking out matching outfits and never left the house without styling her hair. But over time, Lisa, her daughter, started noticing small changes. At first, it was wearing the same clothes multiple days in a row. Then, Eleanor stopped putting on makeup, something she had done for years. Eventually, Lisa realized her mother was skipping showers, and her hair looked unbrushed. When she gently asked, "Mom, have you showered today?" Eleanor brushed it off. "Oh, I just forgot." Lisa thought it was just a little forgetfulness, but in reality it was a warning sign. Eleanor wasn't just neglecting self-care, she was losing the ability and motivation to maintain it. What to watch for: wearing the same clothes for multiple days without realizing it, skipping showers or baths even when they used to be consistent, messy or unkempt hair, overgrown nails or unbrushed teeth, an untidy living space as regular cleaning becomes too exhausting. If you notice a loved one neglecting their hygiene, it's important to approach the situation with compassion and support. Ask gentle, non-judgmental questions. Would you like some help picking out fresh clothes today? Offer assistance subtly. Instead of saying, "You need to shower," try, "Let's have a relaxing bath today. I'll help get everything ready." Make self-care easier. Install grab bars, get slip-resistant bath mats, or provide easy-to-wear clothing. Check for underlying issues. Depression, memory loss, or physical pain could be making hygiene difficult. A doctor's visit may help. A decline in personal hygiene isn't just about cleanliness, it's a sign of deeper health changes. Recognizing this early can help families step in with care and support before it becomes more serious. Have you ever noticed a loved one struggling with personal hygiene? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help others recognize this sign in their own family. And stay with me, because the next sign is the one that often breaks families' hearts the most. a sudden change in personality. Let's talk about why this can be one of the biggest emotional shifts. Sign number 5. Saying goodbye in subtle ways, the hardest to recognize. This is perhaps the most emotional and difficult sign to recognize. Many elderly people, whether consciously or unconsciously, seem to sense when their time is near. They begin to say their goodbyes in ways that often go unnoticed until later. At first, these gestures might seem like simple nostalgia or generosity. They might give away cherished belongings, speak about the past more often, or express a peaceful acceptance of what's to come. While it may be heartbreaking, these moments are often their way of preparing their loved ones and themselves for the journey ahead. As people approach the final stage of life, they often experience a shift in priorities and emotions, a need for closure. They may try to resolve old conflicts or express gratitude to those they love, a desire to pass things on. Giving away sentimental objects is their way of leaving a lasting part of themselves. Increased reminiscing. They reflect on life, their loved ones, and those who have passed before them. A sense of peace or readiness. Phrases like "I've lived a good life" or "I'm ready to go" can be a sign of emotional preparation. Eleanor had always been sentimental, but in the months before she passed, something changed. She started talking about her late husband, John, more than ever, telling old stories, recalling small details, and even saying things like, "I think I'll see John again soon." She also began giving away her jewelry, a necklace to her granddaughter, a ring to her daughter. Lisa, her daughter, thought nothing of it at first, assuming Eleanor just wanted to share special pieces. But looking back, she realized Eleanor was quietly preparing her family for a future without her. The final moment that stood out to Lisa was when Eleanor took her hand and said, "You've been a wonderful daughter. I love you so much." Of course, Eleanor had said "I love you" many times before, but something about the way she said it that day felt different, almost like a goodbye. What to watch for? Giving away treasured possessions to family members or friends, talking more about those who have passed, almost as if they are preparing to join them. Expressing peace with life, using phrases like "I've done everything I needed to" or "I'm at peace." Unusual moments of deep gratitude or farewell messages to loved ones. If you notice these subtle goodbyes, cherish the time you have left. Here's how you can respond. Be present. Spend time with them. Listen to their stories and make them feel heard. Accept their gestures. If they give you something, treasure it. It likely holds deep meaning. Offer reassurance. Let them know they are loved and that their legacy will live on. Say what you need to say. If there's anything left unsaid, now is the time to express your love and gratitude. Recognizing these final goodbyes allows families to be emotionally prepared and present in those final moments. It's not always easy, but understanding these signs can help ensure that the person feels loved, honored, and at peace in their final days. Have you ever experienced this with a loved one? Share your story in the comments. Your experience might help others navigate this deeply emotional time. Talking about the final stage of life is never easy, but recognizing these 5 subtle signs can help us be more present, offer better support, and ensure that our loved ones feel valued, comforted, and at peace in their final journey. To recap, we discussed 1. Unexplained weight loss, a sign of the body slowing down. 2. Increased fatigue and sleeping more, the body conserving energy. 3. Withdrawal from social activities, a loss of interest in the outside world. 4. Neglecting hygiene and daily habits, a silent indicator of decline. And 5. Saying goodbye in subtle ways, preparing loved ones for their departure. If this video helped you, hit the like button. It helps others find this important information. And if you know someone caring for an elderly loved one, share this video with them. It might make all the difference.